Hey there, Patriots. This is True Outlaw Patriot coming at you with another one. The video content that I'm going to show you is a couple of quick clips, two of them by Forbes and one of them by another content creator that we'll wind up all watching together. I think it's pretty eye-opening, okay, to say the least. And the two clips that I'm going to show you, actually, again, the three clips I'm going to show you, it's reminiscent of the hypocrisy of the left, okay, to show that regardless of what they say or do, they have no shame, and they really don't care, and they are the party of anti-Americanism, in my opinion, racism, double standard, anything and everything that everybody basically now sees. Okay, and when I mean everybody, I'm not saying everybody on the right, I'm saying everybody, because now there's more people on the left that are seeing this, and a lot of polls have been coming out that CNN and a lot of the mainstream media are talking about that Biden is losing major support. The Democrats are losing big time. Okay, but even with them knowing that they're losing major support, they still cannot stop, for lack of a better term, they cannot stop the bullshit. They just can't. Okay, but I don't want to get too long into the intro to this video, so we're going to play the clips, but before I do, I just want to thank all my new subscribers here on YouTube and on Rumble. So don't forget to comment, like, share, subscribe, pass the channel around. If you want to help support the channel, there's a link in my description to my Cash App and my PayPal and my merch store, TrueOutlawPatriot.com. And also, before I forget, the links to these videos that I'm going to show, these clips, are in the description also, so you can go and watch them on your own. So without further ado, let's pay attention and let's see how the Democrats love to keep playing the race card, and they keep wanting to point the finger at everybody on the right while ignoring what the hell everybody on the left is doing. But here we go.
All right, Mr. Cohen, you may begin. We can restart the clock in 5 minutes.
Thank you, sir. What bothers me with this hearing, I think the hearing is good that we're having it on the issue, and I think the discussion's been great, the witnesses are great. But there's been anti-Semitism in this country and in the world for a long time.
Now, let me just stop it real quickly. This bald-headed bean over here, he is probably one of the worst, and I hate to say it like that because they're all bad, but he definitely is one that will piss on your back and tell you it's raining and try to make you believe that it's raining. Okay, I mean, he is one of the worst out of the whole Democratic Party. But let's continue.
The world, I guess, 2,000 years, give or take, and in the United States, probably since the beginning of this country. And most of it has come from right-wing, racist crowds like the Ku Klux Klan, Proud Boys, other groups that stand for nationalism. And they were the groups that were at Charlottesville and said, Jews will not replace us, and marched with their torches. They're the people that have consistently been the David Dukes and been anti-Semitic. And yet, when those things happen, people that are really against anti-Semitism, and those of us who are Jewish and feel it in a personal way so many times.
Okay, I'm going to stop it again real quick. You know, he just mentioned a couple of things. He said that, racism has been in this country for many years. He pointed out the Ku Klux Klan. Okay, they founded the Democratic Party. Okay, he talked about David Duke. Who were the ones that who was it that gave a eulogy at for David Duke's funeral or something like that? Who was the one that spoke highly about him? I think it was a couple of people on the left, but I'm not going to say names because if you're smart, you'll know who I'm talking about. Okay. Now that he's talking about all these other groups, he wants to put the Ku Klux Klan with the Proud Boys, but yet Nancy Pelosi's own daughter, okay, the day of or the day after January 6th, was caught on video, which I made a video about it months ago, saying that she knows the leader to the Proud Boys and that he's definitely not a racist. But again, this is what the left likes to do. They want to just, they want to stir the pot. They want to keep pointing the finger, keep making it seem that all this systemic white racism is coming from the right. Meanwhile, they're the ones implementing a lot of this racism that's been going on in the United States. But let's continue, because you really got to hear what this man has to say. Here we go.
Didn't feel support from many people who today are some of the strongest people fighting anti-Semitism. Now, when they fight it, they are really fighting higher education. And they've always had a problem with that. I know a senator who said higher education is a cesspool. Well, obviously it's not, but that says something about her education.
He just said that higher education is a cesspool. A senator has said that. But who was the senator years ago that came out and said they didn't want their children going to school in a jungle? In an urban jungle, I think he said, or something like that. Oh yeah, that's right. That was Joe Biden when he was senator. Wow. It's funny how they have this double standard of whatever they say on their side is okay, but whatever somebody else on the other side said years ago, decades ago, it's something that needs to be addressed now and needs to be fed. But yet, like I've been saying, the left, they eat themselves. And you'll see what I'm talking about. Here we go.
We ought to fight anti-Semitism in every quarter in which it exists. And what's happening now on the campuses is despicable and unfortunate. So many of these people, including many of those who just left us with their red hands and voices, don't understand the history, why Israel was created, why there's a necessity for Israel, why it needs to exist. Ignorance has given them a lot of opportunity to make their voices heard. It needs to stop, but I think, and then what I'd ask Dr. Goldfeder, and I know you're at Emory, I think earlier, I don't think you're necessarily as Southern as that far back, but you get a taste of it in Atlanta. Is anti-Semitism more prevalent among Klansmen and Proud Boys and some of these right-wing groups?
Now you heard the question. Now if it sounds a little low, I apologize. You're going to raise up your volume. He said, is racism more relevant coming from Klansmen, Proud Boys, and these right-wing groups? Something to that effect. That was the question. He's basically trying to bait in somebody who is in charge, whoever the person is, of looking at all the statistics in America of which groups, are systemically racist. Okay? Once again, never mind the fact that the KKK started the Democratic Party. They just want people to believe the KKK was just this right-wing white group, when in fact it wasn't. It wasn't. History has taught us that it was not. But the double standard is so thick with them, they don't care. But now listen to the answer. Here we go.
I'm Emory by way of New York. Thank you for the question, Congressman. It's an excellent question. I'll answer that by saying that I think that anti-Semitism, it's hard to measure where it's more prevalent. It's dangerous wherever it comes from, but I think it is more dangerous coming from the left right now because it is...
Wait, what did he just say? Let me rewind that just a little bit. Okay? Let's listen to what he has to say one more time to the question.
I'm Emory by way of New York. Thank you for the question, Congressman. It's an excellent question. I'll answer that by saying that I think that anti-Semitism, it's hard to measure where it's more prevalent. It's dangerous wherever it comes from, but I think it is more dangerous coming from the left right now because it is okay to say it in polite society. No one thinks it's okay to say, I stand with David Duke or with the Klan, but people are willing to literally say, I stand with Hamas. And that's why it's more dangerous, because you can say it in polite society on university campuses.
Did you guys hear that? Basically, what he's using the term is, it's okay to use it in a polite society. No, it's okay to use it when leftists are in control. Okay? They want everybody to stand against Trump and whatever comments he may have made or may have not made, or whatever groups decide to support him even without his knowledge or consent, or whatever the case is, i.e. using that guy's name, David Duke. So it's okay for society to condemn that, and rightly so. Okay? But even Trump has said it. He does not stand with any white supremacist group. He doesn't want their vote, nothing. Okay? But he cannot stop them from voting. If they go out there and vote, who is he to stop them? Okay? He doesn't know exactly what a person has in their mind when they're voting for him. But the left wants you to believe that he is all-seeing. He knows all this. Okay? So it's okay to, to go against a person like David Duke. Of course, no problem. But in a polite society, in other words, a leftist-run society, the baby that they bred and fed, they won't say anything. And he says that racism is way bigger, way more relevant, okay, coming from the left. Let's continue.
Well, President Trump said he thought David Duke was okay when he ran for office.
Oh, hold on. I'm going to cut this because I got a little prop that I bought also. Look at the way he's trying to cower down. Okay? He's trying to cower down. Look at what he says. I got something for him. Here we go.
Well, President Trump said he thought David Duke was okay when he ran for office in 2016.
He said President Trump said he thought David Duke was okay. You know what I call that? And this is my new prop that is going to go for the leftists, okay? And it's going to go something like this. Did you hear that? Here we go. Oh, we got busted. There's more racism coming from the left. Here we go. It's a oh no moment. Yeah. Didn't like that answer, did he? Let's go.
And he said he didn't know about all that other stuff. He welcomed David Duke's support, but that's neither here nor there. A lot of the issues, and I don't mean to defend it in any way whatsoever, but has anybody out here, any one of you done any studies to see how much Saudi money or Kuwaiti money or Qatari money is given to the schools, the Ivy schools in particular? I mean, dollars, I think, might have something to say, because I've read that there's a lot of Middle Eastern money gone into these universities and that they're afraid to lose it. Yes, sir, Rabbi?
I didn't do the study, but there was research done by the Institute for the Study of Global Anti-Semitism and Policy that found that from 2015 to 2020, institutions that accepted money from the Middle Eastern donors had, on average, 300% more anti-Semitic incidents than those institutions that did not. And from 2015 to 2020, institutions that accepted undisclosed funds from authoritarian donors had, on average, 250% more anti-Semitic incidents than those institutions that did not.
Anybody else have anything to add?
And you know what's funny? He just stuck his foot in his mouth by asking that question. I'll tell you why. Because Donald Trump has been saying it for the longest. People on the right have been saying it for the longest. That the colleges, okay, have been infiltrated and are being funded by people like George Soros, people on the left. I mean, all these anti-American organizations. But he just stuck his foot in his mouth because he was one of the people that's all for, okay, censoring people on the right, pointing the finger to people on the right, calling people on the right white systemic racist. Okay? Defund the police. Black Lives Matter. Okay? Antifa's not a group. They don't really exist. So now the other gentleman just came out and said this is how much money has been given to the university basically the past 20 years. But yet when Obama was president, you couldn't talk about it. When Trump brought it up, you definitely couldn't talk about it. That didn't exist. Now with what's happening with all these protests, okay, on the leftist watch, now they want to bring this to light. oh, no, you can't do that. Okay? Because from 2016 to 2020, you guys didn't give a flying rat's ass. You wanted to make it seem like Donald Trump was destroying the country and that he had no control about what was going on. Meanwhile, you leftist shills, okay, knew what was going on, and you let it go. You let the cities burn. You let people get killed, especially during that summer of love. Where were all the KKK members then? Where were the Proud Boys then? Where were all these right-wing, extreme right-wing groups back in the summer of love? They weren't out there destroying stuff, just like right now they're not out there in the universities causing havoc and committing anti-Semitism acts of hate and violence. But he wants to turn it around and be like, well, you know what? We're going to have to look into this. Yeah, no shit. That's exactly what Donald Trump was talking about and people on the right have been talking about. But you can't look into your own. What he basically got is like what I said. He got an moment thrown in his face. But let's continue.
Mr. Jacoby.
This was a report done by the Network Contagion Research Institute that invested Qatari money funneling into U.S. universities. The report clearly states, and I quote, "There has clearly been an erosion of democratic norms on campuses, and that a massive influx of foreign concealed donations to American institutions of higher learning, much of it from authoritarian regimes with notable support from Middle Eastern sources." That was the direct quote from the study.
And they generally are, those countries are generally aligned with Hamas.
I can tell you from my own experience, I'm a political science and modern Middle East studies major. I've yet to take a class in all 4 years of college that depicts the United States in any sort of positive light. And much of the professors that are saying things like playing the victim is what Jews are best at are the ones in the political science and modern Middle East studies department at Penn.
I'll pause that right there. Okay? That's actually the end of the video. So now, when it's coming to bite them on the ass, now they're afraid. Now they want to, blow the dog whistle. Now it's like all hands on deck. We're being attacked. But like I said, you bred and fed this baby. Okay? Because you didn't care when they were out there protesting and rioting while Trump was president. You didn't care about people on the right. Matter of fact, you kept vilifying more people on the right, even the victims. But now that the shoe's on the other foot, okay, and that shoe's been in shit, basically, it's like, oh, we got to do something about it. It's disgusting. And you know what? I don't condone any kind of violence. I don't want anybody to get hurt. But whatever blowback goes back on the Democrats, which there has been a lot of blowback going on them, on Biden and the Democrats, good. You deserve it. You all need to get voted out of power because you are the threat to this country and democracy around the world, since you like using the word democracy so much. Okay? You people are the threat. You people are the racists. I mean, Chip Roy was just on Capitol Hill warning about all the influx of the Muslim communities that are taking over the UK, and how he's worried that's going to happen here. And people say, "Oh, that's a racist thing to say." Why is that? Well, I don't know. Look at all the pro-Palestinian protests that are going on in the United States. Look at all the Muslim communities in Michigan and Minnesota. Look who's running those communities. Anti-American Muslim politicians in America. But only when it comes to attack their own is when they're afraid. Now it's a threat to democracy. Wait a minute. You were just told that it ain't the KKK, okay, or the Proud Boys or whoever. And mind you, I don't support these groups. I'm just saying. That's all you kept saying. That's what you've been saying for years. This rise in systemic white racism. It's only one problem. Okay? That white racism you're talking about that's on the rise, it must have got one hell of a damn tan. Okay? And this is just the first video. Let's get to the second one, because it's not over on Capitol Hill the way these leftists are being called out. But here we go.
Now 5 minutes to the gentlelady from Michigan, Lisa McLean.
I see a trend going here, Mr. Chairman. Thank you. I think it's interesting that you have all the Republicans asking questions right now, so I appreciate this hearing, Mr. Chairman. Clearly, we care, and I know you do. I know we've talked about the numbers, but I think it bears repeating. The federal government spent over $66 billion on illegal immigrants in 2023, according to the Federation for American Immigration. Does anyone here want to guess how much we've spent on homeless veterans in 23? Guess? Higher? Well, let's just start. Higher, lower, the same? Anybody want to guess?
Fractional.
Fractional. Thank you. 3 billion. 66 on illegals, 3 billion on people who have laid down their lives for this country. Can anyone explain up there why that makes sense?
Well, one is including all sorts of benefits, and one is just looking at a very, very narrow slice.
No, I'm using the same
So if you
numbers.
look
I'm,
at-
sir,
if
you are
did
in,
a
I am
correct
using
comparison,
apples
it
to
would be a very
apples.
different
I'm using apples to
calculation.
apples. So since you know, why don't you share with me?
We don't
Oh,
track
you
U.S.
don't know.
We don't check
You don't
track
know.
U.S.
Okay.
veterans in the census, so that would be very helpful if we did. Then I would be
Yeah,
able to
we
give
did.
you a.
Yeah, it's funny how he comes on and says, oh, that goes in a wide range of how, basically what he's saying, how all that money is the way they separated and allocated to help illegals. And she's gonna break once again. This woman, a Republican, came with the receipts, and once again, these shills on the left, excuse me, basically just got hired because they said they vote Democrat. Because that's what I'm thinking, that's what's got to be going on. And I'm led to believe time and time and time again that these people only get hired because they're like, can I have a job? I'm a Democrat. Okay, here, you get a job. But they have no damn clue of what the hell they're doing. Okay? Now, I will give them one thing, saying that, well, we don't deal with, veterans or anything like that. And I get it, but here's the thing. When you're dealing in an organization, okay, that the government puts you into control and says, we are going to allocate this much money and we're going to put it into your group and this group and that group, and you're talking to the tune of billions of dollars, you might want to do a little more research before you take that check and say, well, where else is, a lot of money going? Where is the taxpayer money going? It can't just be coming to us, because they know what's going on. Okay? There is no way you're going to sit back working for the government and only worry about the money that's going to your organization, your department. I'm sorry. And if that's the way you think about it, then I don't think you should work in the government. You should have a broad knowledge of what's being allocated to where. So like that, that you get to keep your receipts in your desk, in your folders, and say, well, this so much money goes to this department, so much goes to that department. I do know how much goes there. What they do with it, I don't know, but this is what comes into our department. This is what we do with it. But of course, he doesn't know. They only know what's going on in their department. But let's continue.
But do you know the answer? Because I do. I do. So I appreciate your opinion of which you have no facts on, but let me continue and let me educate you some more. The federal government, breaking that $66 billion down, let's look at what we fund. So you might want to get a pencil and paper and take some notes because I'll help you do your job. $5.8 billion in SNAP, $10 billion in Medicare, $8.2 billion in uncompensated hospital expenditures.
I'm gonna pause right there real quick because that right there touched the nerve on me. It all just pisses me off. But what she said about Medicare and the health benefits, I don't have any health benefits. Okay, I can't go to the dentist. I can't get a checkup. I can't do anything. I do not qualify for anything. One of my subscribers wrote to me a couple of months ago. I have not heard from him, and I hope he's doing okay. Who is a retired vet, okay, and he was sending me messages about how they were, I believe he said, I got the message, I gotta look them up again, but basically he was being kicked out, he was not being taken care of, and he did not know what to do. Okay? And I think it's a damn shame that the left, once again with their hypocrisy, with their double standard, the way they see fit to help people from other countries come here and give them all, while the ones that are flipping the bill, we get the shit end of the stick. But let's continue.
$3 billion for primary and secondary education for illegal immigrants, excuse me. And how many illegal immigrants are given taxpayer-funded housing compared to the number of homeless veterans that are
absolutely
sleeping on the street? You don't know because you don't want to know. You don't want to see the numbers. Well, I do, and I can share with you the American people do. Because I'll share with you, the people in my district in Michigan of the 9th District, we care about our homeless veterans. We care about our veterans. And yes, we care about them a little bit more than we care about people who have broken the law to get here illegally.
Yep.
So I actually have some suggestions and maybe some answers on how to fix it. Instead of $66 billion, here are a couple things we could spend. The White House has requested $13 million for the National Call Center for homeless veterans. I'm going to say it again, $13 million with an M, right? Maybe we could find that out of that $66 billion, right, difference between million and billion, big difference, we could funnel some more of that $66 billion to our homeless veterans. Anyone opposed to that? Why aren't we doing it? Why aren't we doing it? Anybody got an idea?
Because they don't give a shit, that's why.
Anybody got an idea? Why we're not, God bless you, why we're not doing it? I'll tell you why we're not doing it, because the Biden administration does not want to do it.
Exactly.
Am I correct? Am I incorrect on that?
Exactly.
I didn't think so. This year's budget request from the White House asks for $17.2 billion in mental health spending for veterans. That $10 billion we lose to Medicare spending would surely benefit to struggle with the mental health issues. So why don't we do this? America's a very charitable country. Why don't we take care of our own first? Anyone see a problem with that? Why?
Because you're dealing with anti-American people born and raised in America. That's basically what it is. They do not give a flying rat's ass about Americans. They don't even care about illegals. They just want a new voter base because they know they're losing. That's basically what it is. That on top of the fact that they want to destroy America from within. Okay? It's all part of their agenda, and they know that we know. But even us knowing, they don't care. They keep doing it. They keep doing it. I mean, Eric Adams the other day was boohoo crying all over the place, okay, about what's going on with the illegals, about, actually not the illegals, about the pro-Palestinian protesters taking down the American flag, putting up the Palestinian flag, but now he wants to make illegals, he wants to give them jobs being lifeguards over the summer in the pools and places like that. And it's like, wait a minute, you don't even know who they are. There's been tons of them being arrested for sexual assault and rape, and now you want to give them jobs without knowing who the hell they are and just put them in a pool area where there's women and young children in bathing suits and stuff like that? Why do you keep trying to coddle them? Why are you trying to give them jobs? How about you just stop spending money and just slingshot their asses back over? And no, I don't care if anybody thinks what I just said is harsh. I really don't. But let's continue.
Don't we? I'll tell you why we don't. Because the Biden administration doesn't want to do that. It's maddening to me The White House budget requested for caregiver support programs not 2.9 billion. Maybe instead of 3 billion for educating illegal immigrants, we can give more funding to caregiver support programs, right? We're all talking about both sides of the aisle, which ironically doesn't even want to participate in this hearing, sadly, but not unexpected. We all talk about caregiving is a problem, right? I hear that on both sides of the aisle. What would happen if we took that 3 billion and gave it to caregivers that live in the United States? Anyone have a problem with that? Why don't we do it? Anybody? The Biden administration doesn't want to do it. And you play games with your facts. And you play this shell game. Well, I'm going to share with you, the American people are not fooled, and they are frustrated and fed up with it. Let's just be honest about where this money is going so we possibly can redirect it to the correct place. Let's start with our veterans. Thank you, and with that.
Yeah, but where it's going is going into all their pockets. It's going into their best interest. But yet, they complain about people on the right. And now that more people on the left are getting fed up with it, like in Chicago, New York, and all these other blue states and all these purple states, all the swing states where they're like, you know what? No, we're done. Even with that, they still won't get their foot off the gas. Okay? I mean, even to the point that the new Trump ad, which I'm going to play, that's going to be the last video, is being banned on the internet, basically, in a country where, you know, the Constitution gives us freedom of speech, okay? But it's okay for people on the left to put their ads and let everybody on the left call Trump a rapist and all this other bullshit, and that's okay. But now one little ad comes out and is being banned. And I'll play that video right now and put my final thoughts to it. Here we go. This was put up by a content creator called Stephen Gardner. I left his link in the description. Check him out. But here you go, people.
Donald Trump's Make America Great Again pact has released a brilliant 30-second advertisement. However, it was just discovered that Google is suppressing it and has outright banned it from being viewed in the United States. I'm going to roll it, but if any of this resonates with you, please like this video and share it with family and friends. I want to hear from you. Why do you think this video was banned for Donald Trump?
Hello, I'm with the Biden campaign.
Yeah, I voted for Biden last time.
That's fantastic.
Is it? Everything costs more. Food, gas, rent.
Okay, but Biden's helping pay rent for newcomers to America from around the world.
You mean illegal immigrants? I'm struggling to pay my bills, but Biden's paying rent for illegals? They get handouts and I'm paying for it.
But Biden can still count on your vote, right?
Things were better before Biden. I'm voting for Trump.
Make America Great Again.
There you go. And this is the ad that supposedly they're trying to suppress. They're trying to censor. When the mainstream media, MSNBC, all of them, as a matter of fact, Biden was being interviewed by, I believe it was someone from MSNBC, they basically told him straight out what the numbers are, and Biden was like, no, that's not what's going on. We're doing things better. And the lady's looking at him, you know, like, I'm one of yous and you're lying to me now. Yeah, no shit. That's what they do. They eat themselves. Okay? I mean, it's just ridiculous that everything is in our faces, and they are the powers that be, the people on the left, they're still trying to tell us that no, it's not what you think. Okay? It's like they're trying to do this Obi-Wan Kenobi thing with their hand, like they're freaking Jedi masters. Like, no, that, you know, those aren't the androids you're looking for. You know? Well, no, guess what? We can see, we can hear, we can think. We know what the hell's going on. But yet, when you point it out, they want to censor it. They want to ban it. But when it's their party doing it, it's okay. Like I said, the double standard. It's okay for them to do it, for them to say it, for them to argue about it, whatever. Everybody else just shut up. Like the paupers that you are, we're in our ivory towers. You guys just shut the hell up. We're your overlords. Really? Don't think so. But here's the thing. The more they try to suppress it, the more it comes out. The more people want to see it. The more people are getting engaged. The more people are waking up. So what the left is having right now is, like I said, moment. That's what they're having. And they can't deal with it. They're going to keep lying. They're going to get stronger on their lies. They're going to push back harder. And we still have, what, 6 months to go before the election? So don't be surprised what other tricks they try to pull out that hat. Or what other chaos, okay, gets stirred up in all this. Not that I want anything wrong to happen, no chaos, anything like that. But if history has showed us anything, and especially history as of late, the past 10 years, give or take, is that the left does not want to give up power. But anyway, that's what I got for you. Don't forget to comment, like, share, subscribe, pass the channel around, give it a thumbs up. And if you want to help support the channel, there's a link in my description to my Cash App and PayPal and my merch store, TrueOutlawPatriot.com. So remember, people, stay vigilant, keep praying for each other, keep praying for the children, and keep praying for this country. Peace.